Welcome to our next episode of
Fandom
Family
Chats.
This is a production of Family Fan Clubs on Facebook. You can find us all over Facebook. You can find us all over social media under Fandom Family Chats. Look us up, get dialed in, get plugged in, and get ready to listen to some crazy people talk crazy stuff.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Fandom Family Chats. I am Jeanette.
And I'm Amanda.
And we are here for a very exciting episode. Me and Amanda have been waiting to discuss the new season of Love is Blind. It is a chaotic and beautiful mess that we are very excited. We decided we wanted to come on now and kind of discuss like up to all the episodes through the current one. So if you're not caught up, definitely save this and come back. But we are, we're going to discuss everything up into the weddings. Obviously make our predictions on who we think is actually going to go through with this. And then we'll come back after the weddings and the reunion to see if we were right or not. So
I have so much to say.
There's so
We're
much.
going to have to reel this in and not make it 3 hours long, guys.
Yes.
So
yes.
We will do our absolute best to make this short
Why
and
don't
sweet.
Let's just start with a couple that we already know did not make it. Let's start with Ken and Brittany, who were probably, in my opinion, the biggest disappointment of the season.
So disappointed. And let me tell you what, Kenny.
Oh, Kenny.
I want to know what what middle school he works at, and I want to go down. I am so angry at this man.
Yes.
Since he got his little free trip, as soon as they got home, that man was checked out.
What in the world happened?
And I'm like, you have this beautiful woman, beautiful, sweet, kind, loved him.
I mean, Brittany, amazing. Not one bad thing to say about her. I won't say anything. She's perfect. You know what? I think he checked out a little bit before they got home. I think he checked out after that conversation with AD.
You think I will say when they went to go do their excursion, he was pretty checked out too. Now that you said it.
And then he piped up on the dolphins. He got real excited about that. But
that cracks me. And I can't even remember her remark right now, but it was just like, if I need you to start talking, I just need to start talking about dolphins.
Say dolphin, yeah. And he was kind of like, yeah, it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But no, I think, I don't know what the issue was. And I mean, and I don't think AD was necessarily trying to cause anything or anything like that. I think she was just trying to get him to think, make sure that they've thought all parts of this through. And, I don't even, if he had come to the conclusion that, I don't know that I'm ready to face what would come from this and all, the challenges we would see, I'm okay, but you didn't have a conversation with Brittany. You just played Candy Crush or whatever it was you were doing on your phone.
I was for sure this man was just talking to another woman the entire time. He's on his phone and then he's like, "Hey, bro." I'm like, you're just sitting here chatting with your was he just chatting with his friends the whole time? Or
well, Amanda, I don't know. I'm not okay. This is just based on what TikTok has told me.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure that Brittany was ever his type. I think he was like, "Hey, bro, this is what TikTok is saying." I don't actually know. I don't know.
I've seen a little bit about that. Yeah.
Either way, whether you're talking to a friend, some guy, some girl, I don't know who you're talking to, it was wrong because your attention should have been focused on your fiance that was there in front of you.
And the whole thing is, I'm not mad at him for ending it. I'm not mad at him for, deciding that he didn't want to go through with it. I'm mad at him for the way he acted. Just there was no respect.
I honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen gaslighting like this. She came to him with an issue of I don't feel like you crave me, which was a really weird term that they were using here. But she was trying to bring up a problem and then he quickly twisted it to where you know what, you're right. You don't actually like me and that's okay. So we should probably just end this. I want you to tell, because I watch these a lot of times, while I'm working stuff, it's a little bit of background noise. I stopped, I paused it and I rewound. I was like, wait,
I did too.
did they break up? Like,
I did too.
is that it? Like, I didn't know what happened. And I think poor Brittany didn't quite understand what happened at first either, until he got up and walked upstairs. And then she was like, oh,
It was
okay.
the weirdest. I have watched every season of this show since it came out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you and I have both watched the entire things together since they've come out.
Mm-hmm.
And never have I seen a person act like him. I've seen a lot of things on the show.
Yeah.
But he was so odd. He was odd and disrespectful. And he's probably I don't even, it's hard to say this because of the season, but I think he disappointed me the most.
He did, because I remember you and I discussed, like, Brittany and Ken were the one couple we were confident. Like, I think I even compared them. I said, oh my gosh, we've got a new Cameron and Lauren. Like, we found a new one. I thought for sure this was going to happen. And then it didn't. It was weird.
I know. Who else was he talking? They weren't even talking to anybody else in the pods, right?
No, not that I remember. If
because they were the first engaged. Yeah. Blows my mind. Seriously.
And usually, I'm trying to think back. Usually, the ones that are first to get engaged like that, like, if I'm thinking back, they're usually the ones that like make it. Because I'm trying to think, like, didn't Alexa and what's his name, weren't they like? I feel like usually the couple that ends
Alexis and
cuts off first, Brendan, or is that his name?
Brendan.
So,
oh no, she's pregnant right now. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, I mean, I actually really liked them. So
I did not at the beginning, but they have.
Yeah,
they won me over.
I feel like they're another one of the couples that got. I feel like usually when you're like the first couple to get engaged and go on over to like your vacation,
yeah,
you tend to be the one that's the strongest, because there's no love triangle. There's no figuring this out. You just knew it was weird. It was so weird. But I wish Brittany well. I mean, I wish Ken well too, I guess. I mean, hopefully.
I will say her TikTok that she put out, she did like a whole party, a watch party with all her friends and family, and she was wearing the ring.
And like not being able to tell her, because I'm sure everybody's like praising, like, oh, Brittany, he's so amazing. I'm so happy for you. And then, yeah.
There'd be no way. I would tell my friends. I don't care. I would not wait.
You got to trust them though, because they can't be like, if they break that NDR.
Like, I'm only telling 5 people. So if something gets out, they know who I'm coming for.
Yeah. I mean, like, you got to trust them. I don't know. But
I tell you only.
It was wild. It was wild.
We're a team Brittany on this podcast.
For sure.
Brittany, if you ever want to come on and talk with us, we're here.
Girl.
We want all the deets.
Yep.
Because we think this guy was a scumbag.
Although I would love to know what is edited out, because I will say I saw a little something with Jessica was on, which we'll talk about, her obviously later. She's a big part of this, but she was on the Viall Files with Nick Viall. Evidently she mentioned something about that, like they had a huge conversation, and like Ken like it wasn't like that, but then by the time they had to redo it, I guess for the camera, it seemed to come out of nowhere. But I don't know how much of that I believe, because Brittany still looked absolutely devastated in that conversation. So I don't know what to believe there.
Either it's very good acting skills, and I didn't believe it the first couple of seasons. I totally believe it now that this show does. They leave a lot of stuff out. Like the conversation between AD and Sarah Ann the other day, it was that to me was so set up by producers.
Yeah.
And it was,
which
we'll get there eventually, but like that is like one thing I'm like, that was set up. They literally placed them right there and said, you guys in AD, you need to have this conversation and we're going to film. And
I do think that's what I think it's lacking, because season 1 didn't feel heavily produced.
Yeah.
It felt real and it felt natural. And even the drama that came about felt natural. I mean, it just felt like it just happened. It wasn't like this, like they added stuff to it. And I think that's why we have 2 very successful couples that have came, which there's probably I can only think of maybe 2 or 3 more, like out of all 6 seasons, like a handful of like are 5 or 6 couples that are still together. 2 of them came from season 1. And I think that's because it was a lot more real. The connections were real.
Yeah. I know a lot of people keep saying every season that goes by of Love is Blind keeps getting worse. last season was hard for
Well,
me to finish it, and
last season was the worst in my opinion.
I didn't even watch the reunion because I just
don't think
didn't.
I did either.
I didn't care.
Yeah,
I
didn't like
was at that
anybody.
point. I was just like, I don't like anybody. I don't care. I don't want to see this. And it
Yeah.
made me almost not want to watch season 6, but I was like, I'm going to watch the first couple episodes.
Yeah.
And see. And of course, it was, I feel like at least the beginning of this season was a lot better than it was last season.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm still like, even though we've had a lot of train wrecks this season, I'm still so invested in all of these people.
I am too.
Like, even the ones that have been a train wreck. Like, okay, for example, let's talk about our other couple that's obviously not getting married, Laura and Jeremy. Something inside of me still likes Jeremy, and it's probably toxic, and I understand that.
No,
but
I am 100% on Jeremy's side on this. Oh, not 100%. I'm like 85%.
Yeah, because he messed up.
He did.
My problem is
he put himself in a bad situation.
Yes. Well, I've said this to you, and so I'll say this on here. The thing is, though, my husband reminds me a lot of Jeremy, like in a lot of the ways, in that, like, Jeremy kind of there's no filter about him. He seems like Jeremy is who he is, like, and I think that's part of the problem. I think a lot of these times Jeremy doesn't think before he's doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's mentioned that he's got his own little quirks about him, and I think this is legit. Him going to meet Sarah Ann, which was stupid. I don't think it was like a malicious thought out thing. I think he even said Sarah Ann just happened to be there, right? And
she was in the area.
Okay.
She was in the area, and she had reached out to him first.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
they decided he wanted to just hash it out, like, and just figure it out. And the idea of him, and now it does make sense to me that he's saying he took her home and dropped her off. He actually seems like the kind of guy that would do that, which I think is a noble thing to do if she was drinking, like to just give her a ride home. Even Sarah Ann, who we know likes to cause drama, it said he dropped me off, nothing happened. So, like, I actually believe that part of the story. I really do.
I did too. I was way more mad at him until these episodes that just dropped the other day.
What he should have done, what it was, is trying to keep this from Laura. Yeah. This is where he is messed up. Yeah. I understand you turned on your location and you thought that was like gonna take care of it, but she was asleep. And so she, in the middle of the night, like, I mean, I don't know what you plan to accomplish there. I wonder if in that morning when you woke up, if you had just been fully honest with Laura, I mean, like, this is the full story. Because my husband likes to tell half truths like that every once in a while. And he's always like, well, you didn't ask the right questions. Well, every once in a while, it's okay if you want to volunteer information.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to make me drag it out of you.
Yeah.
And it's not, I mean, I've been married to him for a very long time. Like, he's not being malicious here. He just doesn't think to, like, give you extra information. He will answer your questions.
Because he's a male.
Right. And so you have to, like, I don't know, you have to ask. And I mean, but I mean, that's our biggest argument all the time. Like, it's okay to tell me more than what I ask.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened here. Jeremy answered the questions and it made him look real bad.
It did. And I know you and I were talking the other day about how much we loved them two together, and they seemed already very, and I'm still going to put it, they seemed like a couple who had a couple of kids in a suburban neighborhood with a couple 100,000 people in it. And on the weekends, they sat in the driveway and let the kids ride their bikes. Like, that's, I could picture it.
Yeah.
I will say, after meeting her family and seeing her around other people in her real life, it changed my opinion of her. Not like horrible. I wouldn't have anything against her after it, but it did change something.
Well, I think when your own mother says, like, basically calls you difficult,
that was harsh, man.
Seems like a problem. You know what I mean? Like, obviously she knew. I think Laura was gonna push him away one way or the other. Like, she was trying to, because she kept bringing up stuff, like, in front of other people too, like bringing up their issues, like, we want to talk about their fights. Like, that to me is odd. Oh, right? Like, I don't like to, like, I like to paint my, like, everything is perfect picture in front of other people, even though it's not, because I feel like it's no one's business.
That's how it should be too. And if you're living with somebody, Ben and I literally just had this conversation the other day. Like, there's no rhyme or reason you need to discuss your relationship with anybody else.
Right.
More for the mere fact, if like that this would never happen, but if Ben did something and I went and told my mom, let's say, you think my mom's ever going to forgive him? No. And it's going to put a
Yes.
toxic,
Yeah.
taste in her mouth about it.
To an extent, I mean, if you need to vent to a girlfriend, you need to vent to your mom or whoever, like that's a difference. Like,
yeah,
honestly, my mother-in-law is the one I usually vent to, because like I understand that she understands him and that she loves him despite all of it as well. So like we can bond on that like we can both be like, okay, he's kind of being a jerk right now.
Yeah.
But we love him, and she'll understand my frustration without taking my side. You know what I mean? Like, she'll take my side, but not hold anything against him. And so she's usually my vent person whenever like I really need to complain about her son.
And when you're married to somebody for as long as we have been
it's
married,
almost 18 years. So sometimes
I've been almost 15 years. It's been, it's
I tell you what,
you're gonna have fights, you're gonna have arguments, you're gonna be mad at each other. It's if I lived with my cousin, guess what? We'd fight too.
Sure. I fight with my kids. I mean, sometimes I want to but I love them more than life,
Yes.
The other day I actually told David, I was like, oh my gosh, sometimes I really want to put a pillow over your head and smother you. And he was like, well, that's harsh. And I'm like, you've never wanted to like smother me to death? And he was like, no. And I said, well, I think that speaks to how wonderful of a wife I am then, if I've never done anything to make you want to smother me, because I feel like sometimes I said I haven't done it. So obviously, like, I love you. You know what I mean? Like,
I haven't went through with it yet, David.
But no, I mean, I think it just, and Laura had already upset me. Like, if we talk about the other confrontation that Jeremy and Laura had with the bean dip situation, first of all, I've never heard of this, and like it was really
threw
weird.
Me off, man.
But
I thought we were joking around.
Jeremy was just it was a really weird. I laughed. I thought it was so funny when it first happened, because I'm like, I've never heard of this, but this is cracking me up. And then all of a sudden, and I don't know how it transitioned. It's almost like Clay got offended, which meant AD got offended, and then Laura got all upset, and it was like Jeremy was literally just joking. He didn't even do it.
No.
It was just and I mean, he's one of those, he probably shouldn't have brought it up. But again, like we've talked about, Jeremy doesn't think. He has word vomit. This is just how he is. And I guess we know this now about him. But like the fact that in that moment, Laura did this self-preservation thing and got angry at him instead of defending him and being like, 80, look, he was obviously like, he didn't mean any harm by this, like, let's just drop. Like, I didn't like her reaction to that. Like, she sort of just threw him under the bus.
She really did,
when she was the one that started it. So it was like,
it did, it gave me a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, but I got over it.
I did too.
But I think it did come back to play into my decision of whose kind of team am I on at the end of this. And
the thing is, what's so sad is I think they both really cared for each other, because you could tell by her reaction, but I think she was so stubborn that she was willing to give him no grace in this situation at all.
None. And I think that was the way she reacted to all this. It was so immature.
I laughed when he said, your stuff's already packed up. Like, well, I mean, girl, you made your bed.
I did.
You made your bed. And then
you packed I packed your stuff.
When she's crying her heart out, and you can just see the jet skis in the background.
Oh my God, that killed me.
Jeremy and Sarah Ann having the time of their life. I mean, I shouldn't have laughed, but I did.
I shouldn't have laughed either. And I don't hate Laura. I really don't. I think she's I would be friends with Laura. I think she would give me a lot of drama in my life. But
for sure.
When it comes down to it, they shouldn't be together. And I do like him and Sarah Ann. And I'm not number one fan of Sarah Ann. I'm really not. I'm just, I see her on TikTok. I do not follow her because I'm still, I don't know, somehow in my mind holding a grudge. Yeah. Because she knew what she was doing. I don't care what she said to AD. She knew what she was doing.
I think she did, but I also am not necessarily mad at her, because I don't think that she had any loyalties to anyone. I understand people talk about this being a girl's girl thing, but like she was in the pods the same amount of time as Laura. She fell in love with Jeremy the same as Laura did. In my opinion, I'm not sure that she owes her any loyalty at that point.
No.
It was fair game. So I think if she needed for closure, and it, I mean, worked out in her favor because it wasn't even closure, it looked like it opened a door. She just wanted to get her feelings out. Okay. I mean, like, now, once, if she had done this after they had actually walked down the aisle and they were married, okay, then I definitely, like, no, like, okay, the door is closed there, but she did it as soon as she got back. I mean,
I don't think her foot even hit the ground running before she was messaging him. But
yeah, so I don't have that big of an issue with that, if I'm being honest.
I don't.
It is what it is.
It was weird. I feel like I had an initial reaction to it.
Yes, I did too.
And then after hearing her side and hearing her talk, to AD about it, and also talk to Jeremy about it, I don't know, it opened my eyes. It made a little bit more sense of where they were coming at, because like we said, they love to overproduce the show.
Right.
So we were not getting the correct information. And they did that for drama, which stop it. We're already watching.
Yeah. I think there's enough drama without adding all this extra, if we're being honest.
And exactly. We have seen the TikToks that are leaking like yesterday and today, right? Of Sarah Anna's in his house.
Well, those have been out there, and people are so good at this. People out there recognize that was his house a long time ago. And they were like, that looks like Jeremy's house. I'm like, how can you tell? Like,
because of the painting from Target.
I guess maybe. But like,
they're like sending links to the art in his house. I'm like, that is creepy, you guys. Creepy. Stop it.
So yeah, so I mean, I think if they're together and they're doing well, then I wish them the best. Like I don't have any. I don't know. I think the reunion's going to be drama, and so much fun.
I want to know who's going to show up.
There was somebody that said they were never going to see them again. Was it Laura that said that? I'm thinking, oh, but honey, you will, because we still got a reunion to go to. Like
it was, because I thought the same thing at the time.
Yeah,
and I was like, "You not coming to the reunion?
You better be." I think they have to, because I feel like last year, who was it that didn't come? And like there was that was a big deal. Was it last year or year before? With Marshall. Who was Marshall? Like Marshall came, but then I don't remember who his woman was, because I didn't like her.
I can see her in my head. I can see her face.
And that other guy. See, I'm telling you, like that season was so trash that like.
I like Marshall though. I actually do follow him on TikTok.
Yeah. Well, I love Marshall, and I love his cousin, who's from The Bachelorette, which you don't know anything about because you don't like to watch those shows, but he's great too, Justin.
I think we should talk about the most boring one, which is Johnny and
Amy. Yeah, let's do it.
So I mean, yeah, I say Johnny and Amy are the most boring couple. It's not a bad thing. In a successful relationship, it's not a bad thing. You don't want the drama.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like the only drama they've had is the birth control discussion.
And I feel like that was even resolved this most recent episode. Like,
it was,
where Johnny did his research and realized what a vasectomy actually entails, and he's like, poor guy. I mean, like,
I thought they tied a bow around.
What did you think they did, Johnny? Like, oh my God. And I am really glad for that they finally, because I think before this most recent episode, you and I had discussed that the drama with Johnny and Amy over the birth control thing, like everyone else on social media I had seen was taking Amy's side, like, no, girl, you don't need to put any hormones in your body, this and that, which I do support if there's a reason for it. But like to just blow it off because you're like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Well, she even said that the birth control would help her symptoms.
Yeah, so it's like, because she's anemic or something. So like if it was to settle your cycle, like, and all of that, I mean, if it could help regulate it, then.
And I feel like there are options out there that are non-hormonal.
Yeah.
That you can use as well. So I don't know. Yeah. I think that whole situation was weird to me.
Yeah, because at first it was almost like you were just like, nah, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you're going to get married. Like, I feel like this should be like a decision you all come to together. And I'm, like I said, I mean, nobody's saying like the woman is always responsible for, birth control in situations like that. Because they're definitely not. There's plenty of options and things you can do out there. But like people saying just use a condom. Well, Oh God, there was even worse. There were even worse. People were saying stuff like just, and I'm like, that's not a recommended method of birth control, you guys. Like, let's not, please don't give them that advice,
And let me tell you, no birth control is 1,000%. I know two people who have literally personally in my life, I know two people who have gotten pregnant after getting their tubes tied.
Oh,
I
wow.
know several men whose wives have gotten pregnant after their vasectomies.
Yeah.
I got pregnant twice on birth control.
Yeah.
My cousin just got pregnant with an IUD, and no birth control is 100%. So
no, it's not.
I mean, this is a conversation. If you're going to marry this person, I don't want to say their fight was the most, I'm trying to find the fight. It's not the most important, but it was the most real. And that's why I say they're the most boring, because they actually do seem like they will make it. I think this might be one of our only couples that make it long term.
I hope so. And I mean, because like both of their meeting of the families, like how adorable is Johnny's sisters? I mean, like, my God, I fell in love with them right away. Like, can they come to the reunion?
Yes.
Like, I just want to see them again. They're so cute. And her dad was super sweet when he like met. I mean, like, all of it just seemed to go so smoothly.
Yep.
Which also, like, sometimes I'm like, okay, well, we're not gonna have any drama because now I'm worried that like
had to throw in the birth control thing.
Drop on like the last episode here of like,
and it I don't know. We have been shocked before. We have not been shocked. They're getting married for certain ever, because
although usually I'm shocked the other way, because like, I mean, I don't think I've ever been like, well, I don't know. I'm trying to think back if there's any that I'm like, no, they're definitely gonna get married, and then they didn't.
I think there's been a couple. I would have to go back and look at everybody.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten shocked.
I know that the other direction, and the one I'm trying to think of, what was Kwame and what was his woman from? I remember that one surprised
that last
me.
Season?
That was the season before? Last season, I feel like there's nothing productive came out of that.
Kwame and Chelsea?
Yes, Chelsea was her name. Because I remember thinking that like there's no way they're getting married, and they did, and they are still together and happy,
they're still married,
and like
they were in season
shocked
4
me in that way.
You're right.
And then Barnett and
Amber,
obviously, they shocked me way back
then. I did not think that was going to last.
It's been 5 years.
I loved them.
Love them.
Yes, like we already talked about earlier, Brennan and his what's her name now? Alexa. Yeah, I'm doing Alexis, and I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah. So we'll see. I hope that, because I feel like Johnny and Amy are our only hope at a successful marriage, because I don't believe in Amy and Clay either. We'll talk about them in a few minutes, but I think Johnny and Amy are.
I think Johnny and Amy are our strongest contenders for the season to get married. I think they're my number one kind of pick that they will get married. They're not my number one couple, but they're my number one pick that they will get married.
That changed too, because when they first came out of those pods, I thought for sure that Johnny was going to be too annoying for Amy, and that like there was no way she was going to be able to make it through that.
I think he calmed down a lot.
He did, and that's what I was going to say. Like, it was just Vacation Johnny. Johnny was kind of wild and crazy, and then he got back to the real world, and he was good, and I was really proud of him for that, because I thought, this man acts like a 12-year-old boy. I don't know if I could live with this for the rest of my life. But if that's just the vacation version of himself, that's fine. Like, have a good time.
That's my nickname. Vacation Amanda. That's it about Vacation Amanda. He gets so excited every time it comes out.
Oh, I want to know about Vacation Amanda.
I'm a freaking hoot and a ball to be around when I'm on vacation and drunk.
That's exciting. I love it.
Oh, my friends of friends know. Like, oh, Vacation Amanda came out. Like, heck yeah,
well,
we're here. So
I feel like I'm a stressed out mess on vacation. So like, not a good time.
Now, Vacation Amanda only comes out when I don't have my kids.
Oh, I haven't had that vacation. Well, I guess with Maureen in Chicago, that's the last time I've had one of those. So,
oh yeah, we need to do a girls' trip.
And we didn't get drunk because Maureen doesn't drink. So
I'll get drunk with you. Maureen can babysit us.
It won't take much. I'm a lightweight.
But By the way, people, we are not drinking.
No, this is water because it's the middle of the day.
Yeah, it is 11:25 a.m. So if this was wine, you should judge us. So yeah, we didn't say very much about Johnny and Amy. It honestly, in my opinion, I think that speaks volumes of how successful I truly believe that they will be. I think
I have
so
one more thing to say about her though.
Oh, what?
How beautiful did she look in her dress? She said she wanted to have like a princess. She looked like a literal princess.
Holy moly. We will talk about all their dresses, but
yeah, let's come back to that because I want to talk about it. But I just had to, like, I just pictured her and I was like, she looked so beautiful. So beautiful.
They all did, but yes, Amy was, I don't know,
perfect.
AD was like, came out and that, when they go, that's you. I was like, that's AD.
She looked hot. Like, she looked good, but like, something about Amy was just beautiful. So there was a different.
It was a bride. It was a princess. It was that fairy tale.
And it's fine. It's just whatever your preference is. But hers fit exactly what she was wanting. So
I love it.
But
well,
AD.
Let's get into AD and Clay.
Okay. Like, I like both AD and I like Clay. I do actually. I am just not sold on will they make it. I'm not.
So I'm probably 50-50 right now. I will say I feel like he puts, which is not always a bad thing, so I hate saying it, but I feel like he puts his job and his personal life before her.
Yes.
Like I said, and I hate to use that against him because that's his livelihood, that's his job, that's
yeah.
But also when you are in a new relationship and you're about to get married, and that should be where you're trying to build that strong bond. And I'm sorry, if you're wanting to get married, your wife and your family need to be above your job.
They do.
Because your wife is going to be there until you're dead. Your job will replace you tomorrow.
You need to have work-life balance for sure. Like, I get that you need to, like, you're allowed to be ambitious and you're allowed to have your work goals and you're allowed to work towards those. Absolutely. But there needs to be a work-life balance for sure. For sure.
Yeah. And I don't feel like he's.
No, my biggest issue with Clay is, and it's not necessarily his fault. I think he has a lot of trauma from his childhood and from his parents' relationship. And
you saw that.
I think he's trying to work past it. I do. I think Clay is a good guy, but I think there have been moments that have been red flags for me with Clay. And I'm not sure how it's going to work out. There's been moments when he gets too aggressive and too upset about things, I think.
He's very passionate.
And the moment when he told her that he would tell her she's not in shape after she has a baby.
Let me tell you that I completely forgot he said that. So you just said it just now. I don't know if you saw the recognition in my eyes.
I will say that I feel like AD walked him into that though, because I feel like he said it because she's so into physical fitness that he honestly thought that's what she would want to hear. Because I don't know.
But does any woman want to hear that? I mean,
he's another one that I feel like he doesn't think.
How old is he? I think that
it could. I think I don't know how old any of them are. Except for Chelsea, she's 30 because she likes to tell
I know how old Kenneth was. He was 25 because I was like, he's 25 and he's a principal and he's acting like he's 2.
Yeah. How old is he?
When this man is 31 years old and he is still acting like this is an issue.
Oh, he's 31. Yeah, I'm telling you.
31 years old. Get it together, little boy.
He's got a lot of relationship trauma from his parents, and I don't know that he can overcome it.
He does. I think he can. And I really did love 80s mom's talk.
I did too.
I mean, I was like, I want her to like follow me around during the day and like hype me up.
Yeah.
That is a hype woman. And I was like, I think I want to adopt her.
Yep. No, it's great. You know what? I remember loving his mom too, because there was a moment when I feel like she because she kind of helped him resolve some drama too. But it's like your mamas aren't always going to be there to like fix this for you. So like you got to figure out how to fix it on your own. And I don't know, AD though, and AD, I like her. Sometimes she seems really not interested. If someone says no, I think it's going to be her.
I do too. And I think if anything, it's because he's not showing any kind of improvement where his faults lay. She knows his faults. He knows his faults. They've talked about them. But he's just putting his nose to the ground and work. As I mean, this is what we're seeing, but he's not. We're not getting real conversations. I mean, like they're in all their real conversations. They talked about their wedding colors, work. And I don't like those wedding colors. I'm not wearing. Or he said I like them, but I'm not wearing them.
She's like, I know you don't have to.
You don't have to. And by the way, I love her colors. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like,
I'm
it's
rooting
50-50.
for them.
I think if they put the work in and make some changes, not just with Clay, but I mean, for both of them, need to make some changes and to grow up a little bit. I'm trying to figure out how old she is. She's 33.
I think they need to start out with like some marriage therapy, because I just feel like there's things that they both need to. They both seem really set in their own ways about things.
The entrepreneurship that's their personality, which entrepreneurs usually have that personality of, that's their entire being and personality is I'm an entrepreneur. Completely fine by me. It usually is very successful people.
Yeah.
But if you want a marriage and you want a relationship, then you have to put the work in.
You definitely do.
And it's not always sunshine and rainbows. So, and I think they just want the sunshine and rainbows and the easiness and to have somebody sitting there, but not actually put the work in.
Yeah.
Which if you're 31 and 33 years old, like they are,
you
need to do that sooner rather than later, in my opinion.
So it could go either way. I mean, like, but my prediction is that she's going to say no.
I think if anybody says no between AD and Clay, it will be AD.
Yeah.
And I think I wouldn't be mad about it.
No, because I'm just not sold on.
If they make it, I'm more than happy for him.
Were you hoping that Matthew was going to walk through that door at that barbecue? Because they brought him up and I was like, please. No, they said he
Let me
like
tell
Clark
you what,
Kent.
how mad I was over this. Let's talk about Matthew for a minute. He's not one of our final couples, but he
deserves
made a lasting
Matthew,
imprint.
that was a roller coaster in such a short time. I wish we could read our messages back, but it's probably way too far back to go back. Like you and I were both like, oh, Matthew.
Like,
Matthew. I mean, we could just do like emojis. It was like, man, and then like, like, I mean, it was like this transition that was all within one episode. It was so fast.
It was so funny too, because we both had like at the same scenes. Because you watched after me and I could tell where you were by what you were saying, not even asking you where you were, because you're like, I think I might, Matthew might be okay. And I was like, oh, I said that too. Wait 5 minutes.
Yeah. Matthew.
And then that man is crazy. Like
I mean,
what?
Like it puts the lotion on the skin kind of crazy. Like, I'm not sure about him.
And when they go, he looks like Clark Kent. I'm like bubbles came out of my notes. I'm like,
he looks like Clark Kent, like Chelsea looks like Megan Fox. Let me say, like, no, he does not.
That should be the title of this episode. He looks like Clark Kent, like she looks like Megan Fox.
I mean, what? Because he's got dark hair and glasses. Like this makes him look like Clark Kent. Someone should check his basement just to be on the safe side.
Who was he going after when he left? Because I fear for that person.
Well, didn't somebody?
Who was it?
She told him that she needs to leave.
Not Amber.
I don't remember.
It starts. I feel like it starts with an A.
Whoever.
I'm going after her, and it was just like silence. It's like, oh,
the one she told. Like she said, you need to leave. Like.
Man,
Matthew. But I really thought he was going to pop up at the barbecue. I really wanted. I was like, "Where's Matthew? Let's see them."
I really did think he was going to come in because he did. Like, he's popular, not popular for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
but on social media, he's popular because I don't know, America.
Well, yeah, we like. Of course, he is, right?
All America's going to see that. Oh my gosh, we know, dude. Holy moly, like watching him was
It was interesting.
The biggest like mouth drop was with him and Jess when he just got.
Oh, he just left.
Nope. I was like, is this speed dating or?
There was somebody else that I feel like he like did something crazy with too. I don't remember.
Like a few of them at the very beginning, and I was like, this man's insane. And then somehow he like won me over for like 10 minutes, and then just like I got my, somebody slapped me back into reality.
He said something really sweet and really insightful, and I don't remember what it was, but at the time I was like, oh no, I like that.
That should have been a red flag. I mean,
right.
This is why we're married.
Let's just trust our guts from the beginning, because anyone can win us over when they say just one sweet thing. We shouldn't let that happen, right?
Gosh, that's sad. Now that we're talking about it, let's just not mention that again. Might be our genre of books too.
More so you than me. I like my fluffy books.
What do you mean? I read non-romance books, unlike you.
Oh, I don't. No, thank you.
I really need you to start reading Frida McFadden. You like mystery and thrillers.
I need
read
love.
One of her books. One.
I have so many books to read.
But
right
I want
reading.
How often do I ask you to do things for me?
I already started Icebreaker. You're out of luck.
I haven't even read it. I will say when it comes to Adie and Clay, like you said, I think she will be the one to kind of call it off. If they call it off, if he does, I'll be a little bit more shocked. I think he's kind of I don't know what to say. Like, I think he just has like a blinders on or something right now as we're watching. So it's like not real. So maybe when it becomes a lot more real, he might freak out too.
I don't see it. I don't see him freaking out. I do think he'll freak out, but I don't think he'll call. I don't think he'll say no.
No, I think if anybody says no, she'll say no. But
I think it'll be her.
If he does, I'll be surprised. I won't be shocked. I'll be surprised.
True. Same.
So now that we've talked about them and Matthew, we had to throw Matthew into the middle of them for a reason. Matthew dated AD, which is why we talked about Matthew right there. So our only one we really have left to talk about is Megan Fox and Jimmy.
Megan Fox and Hank Hill. Bobby Hill. Is it more Bobby Hill? I think it's more Bobby Hill, if we're being honest.
No, it is definitely more Bobby Hill.
Yeah. Which surprisingly though, I don't know, Chelsea, I don't know how you did this, but I am actually a Jimmy fan now.
I am too. Dang it. And when he was walking around on that lake day, I was like, why do you look attractive?
Look, here's the thing. Yes. Here's the thing. I said this to you in the pod. So I know everybody's been talking about how Jimmy was everybody's number one, and everybody's like, why? I don't get it. I will admit that even when they were in the pods, there was a swagger about him. There was something that because I think I even said it to you. I said, am I attracted to Jimmy? What is happening right now? I see it. I see how people he has this and he's got a nice voice. And I think if that's all you're hearing, I can see where you could be attracted to him. Now, he had some hiccups in there where I thought he messed up. Okay.
This is the messiest, and this is why we saved it for last.
I remember I was so team Jessica. You were too.
Yes.
We were so mad. And not because I have anything against Chelsea. I actually don't. I think she is a lovely person. It's fine. She's a lot. But I think she's a nice, lovely person. So I don't really have too much bad to say about her.
Other than, and even the whole Megan Fox thing. I know everybody's making fun of her about it. Sorry, I'm on a train too. I see it though.
I do see it. I actually do. I was making a joke about the Clark Kent and but
I know.
The thing is, girl, where you messed up is he cannot see you. And then you picked, name me a man who doesn't find Megan Fox attractive. Because
if you're a man and you don't find her attractive, I'm judging you because I do.
She's in my husband's top 5. She's definitely
back in the Transformer days.
And maybe that's millennial men, because that was my husband was in his early 20s when this woman emerged in Transformers, and same. Do you know what I'm saying? So like I get it. So you chose someone who, I mean, be like a man saying he looks like Ryan Reynolds. Like,
thank you.
everyone finds him attractive and he can't see you. So now that's what he's picturing.
Yes, that was.
And so you set yourself
right.
up for failure.
Yeah.
Because Chelsea is a beautiful woman. I'm not saying that she's not. She definitely is.
But do you think her saying that, do you think that swayed his decision between her and Jess?
Honestly, I don't think it did. I mean, I know people are giving him a hard time. I'm not sure that it did. I think Jess was coming on too strong for him.
Do you think
And it
so?
was
I think it was
scaring him.
because of her daughter.
My husband said it's the daughter thing. He said he could not agree to marry someone when he has not met their child, and he's going to be taking on that role of a parental figure for someone's child, and he hasn't met them yet.
Yeah, which.
So I mean, I think that is more of what did it.
And I have another question too, because I do agree with you on that one. Do you think it was fair for Jess to not tell him about her daughter for that long?
Yes and no, because I think you probably I can see where, like, thinking about myself as a parent, if I was a single parent, you don't, because even not being a single parent, I don't like the idea that being a parent is my single defining characteristic.
But it is.
So, but I can understand where you would want someone to know you for you, because they're going to hear that and then they're going to automatically shut off a certain part of them. So like, I don't know. I
don't know. To me, it's just like it weeds them out. Like, don't get attached to somebody and then say like, you have a kid.
I don't know how she didn't tell him so quickly, because I can't go 5 minutes without talking about my kid.
It would have definitely slipped out with me.
Like, I would have taught, like, my kids, I hate it. I won't say I hate it, but I do, like, sometimes it would be nice for people to, like, you know, to know me and not me as the mom. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand.
I understand. That. I think every mom could, or parent even.
Yeah.
Understand.
But how do you, and I think a woman hearing that a man has a child, I feel like would be an easier, like, we would be, and maybe I'm generalizing, I feel like we would accept that
more so. Not every woman would, but
not every, but I think so. in general, I think women would accept taking on a man with a child than a man would. But like I was telling my husband, like, it's not like, I mean, her kid was like 12, so it's self-sufficient. Okay. It's 10, not like he's got a 3-year-old, you know, I mean, like,
yeah.
And she has a good relationship with the father. But like they've been split up long enough that it's not like a chance of reconciliation, good relationship.
Yeah.
Kind of sounded like a dream. I mean, you got this kid, but like you got free babysitter for him like every other weekend.
And how cute is her kid, by the way? Now that we finally got to like see her, and I see other TikToks now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how freaking adorable are the two of them?
But I think they placed that whole Megan Fox thing. I honestly, because I don't think Jimmy's a bad guy. I don't think that's what. Now, do I think that was in his head? Sure, because how could it not be at this point?
Yeah.
But I don't think that was I think he was already wavering, and I think Jessica's letter scared him. You know, I think the letter. I think because she was so, and I think her letter was beautiful. I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but I think it just scared him, and I think he got nervous of whether he could take that on.
I do too. As soon as he read that letter, and she even said that at the late day. Like, that's when it changed.
Yeah.
And
I think
to me, that just kind of made it so apparent that I didn't want them together. Which up until late day, I kind of still wanted them together. I
kind of still do. I'm not even gonna like
pretend I wouldn't be mad. Let me tell you, I would not be mad.
Because gosh, I don't care. The chemistry was still there on the lake day. There was something. I was getting butterflies watching their conversation together.
Same. I did too. I was like, my eyes didn't go anywhere. I was so enthralled into.
I just think they would have worked so beautifully together.
I do too. And while we're on the discussion of this, and I know there's some controversy around him right now, but Trevor, because apparently he was in a relationship when he joined the show.
The thing is, I've heard that, but I've not seen anything to prove this. So I don't know.
Girlfriend?
Yeah.
She's on TikTok. She told everybody. That's how everybody found out. Okay.
But like, does she have proof that like I don't know. I guess I haven't seen the whole thing of like with
I've
like
seen
saying that they were legit
several.
still together.
From what I'm hearing from her TikTok page, they were up
Yeah.
until he like left, and she didn't even like know what happened or anything. He just like so I'm not, and we might not be getting the whole story there. So it's
Yeah.
hard to talk at or two.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to say if that is true, it will change my entire opinion about Trevor. I don't
Sure.
know if we'll ever know that for sure or find out.
Yeah. It's hard to know, I
I will
guess.
say I would say it's not any of our business, but it is when you're
Well, when you go on TV,
when you
it's
sign
our
that
business.
contract,
Yeah.
it does become our business, unfortunately, and you're getting paid to do this.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, it changed the way I looked at Trevor a lot. Um, but I will go ahead and just still say I liked the chemistry between Trevor and Chelsea in
I
real
did.
life.
I did.
I liked them in the pod together.
Yeah.
And I always said that I think her and Trevor would match so much better than her and Jimmy.
Just even with her, I don't know, like the way she didn't seem as self-conscious talking to Trevor. She
Yeah.
didn't seem as insecure. Like,
I think she would be way more secure with him.
and I think he would give her like, I don't know, it felt like it would flow better. And
Mm-hmm.
I hate that because I mean, like this poor girl, like Amanda. Do we even I mean, where do we start with like Chelsea? Like, I want to preface this, like I said, I do think she's probably a sweet, kind, beautiful person. But I could not date. I couldn't even be friends with her, let alone date her. And I
Jimmy is
am
a
a
freaking saint.
and
I don't know
I
what.
am I'm a needy emotional person. Ask my husband. I am.
Same.
And she is too much for me.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
that's saying a lot. Although I mean she to be as old as she is, because she reminds me of like myself in my early 20s and how insecure and how I would react sometimes to
Mm-hmm.
situations.
But also getting married at 18 and going through a divorce in your early
True.
20s, I think that
It could, yeah, I think
a
she's still
lot of
got trauma
trauma.
from that.
Yeah, I do too.
But
And I think she had, that man must have cheated on her,
I don't
or
know.
she's had trauma in past relationships, and it
Yeah.
just shines through. And I hate it for her because
I mean,
I don't hate Chelsea. I really don't.
no. But
But
like I can go through three instances where she was too much. Okay. Well, she was already too much in the pods. I feel like you and I talked about it, how I was like, girl, please
yeah.
just let it go, whatever. But when Jimmy talked about AD being stacked, okay. Look, AD is stacked. I'm not even gonna lie. Like AD looks great. Like I wish I had her body for sure.
Yes.
But like that was a moment, just the two of them. Like my husband says stuff like that sometimes. He's like, dang, look at her, you know?
I
Like
know.
we talk about it. I would never be like, oh, guess what he like, no, because that's embarrassing to him.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
and
like the
then
lesser of them though.
she's mad at him afterwards.
I
Like,
that the way that she reacts
girl.
to him, like private Chelsea versus public Chelsea,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
like gives me whiplash sometimes.
Yeah. The
One,
second
she makes fun of herself by how much she's been crying on the show. Like, even on her TikTok, she's making fun of herself so much
and
for like
hopefully
crying every other second.
maybe she's learned, maybe seeing herself play back, maybe it's going to help her move through this. I hope so.
I do too. I do too, because I still haven't followed her on TikTok.
I don't want to follow her. I don't
Because
think.
I just not there, but I keep getting all her videos now. I guess because I watch them when they pop up.
Yeah, yeah.
It keeps showing them to me now, and I'm like, stop it. But I'll probably end up following Chelsea by the end of this, just because it keeps popping up on mine. But this whole Chelsea and Jimmy, holy moly! So first the AD thing happened.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
What was
and then our
next?
second fight was because he was during his work day. He didn't give her enough kisses and say that she loved him and say that he loved her. Honey, he's been working.
When I laughed at that, I didn't even know she was like serious.
Who works from home. Like I have to get on to my husband all the time when he's home for some reason, and he like lingers. I'm like, David, this is like if I was to go to your office and just like linger in your doorway at your office and just sit and look at you. Go away. Like I'm working right now. Like
yep.
I don't have time for you at the moment. Like, I know that my work is in our home, and sometimes that is confusing to someone who doesn't work from home. But like, this is my office.
Yep.
So go somewhere else.
Yep.
Like, it's insane.
That's why we had to make Ben his own. We had to take one of the bedrooms and turn it into an office because it was, thankfully we had room to do that too. Right. We didn't need a playroom anymore. Our kids are older.
Yeah.
So we were able to do that. But when he was working just like in the dining room, and then I was home all day. And it was just like, creep around, stay unseen. Because it's you have to be.
It's our office.
And I don't think she understands that. She's a flight attendant. That's not.
I'm like, when do you work? Anyways, I haven't seen you go on one flight since y'all got back. Like,
she probably has like on a leave or something while she does this show. Because that's not like a you return home that evening type of job.
True. Jimmy could probably use the break if we're being honest with you. But that poor man, he had bit his lip, Amanda. It was bleeding. And like, I mean, I don't know.
The lip. Holy, was it gushing blood? I was like, it was not that serious.
No, it wasn't. But like, and when she was like something, what'd she say about like having sex or something? And he was like, yeah, you wanted to do that. I need a break from that too. I was like, oh God. That was one of the moments when those that Jimmy, no, that wasn't the right thing to say. Like, even if you mean it, like, let's just.
That made me stop. I was walking from my kitchen to the living room when he said that, and I halted with my mouth open. I was like, you did not.
But at the same time, she pushes and pushes to where you just, I mean, he told her she was needy. Girl, you are needy. Like, you are needy.
Yep.
It's annoying.
The past fight made me the most mad, I will say, though. He has introduced you to his lady friends.
Yes. Who we all knew.
First person he had you meet because he knew you were going to be insecure about it.
What did I tell you? Lady friends. I think I told you on text. I said, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
As soon as they walked in.
I feel like he handled it.
Yes.
From the get-go of how somebody should handle this kind of stuff. The way that she was just like, it's pretty much them or me. No, ma'am.
Well, just to like, first of all, she's like, I don't want to be with someone who goes out all the time. He went out for an hour, had a drink, and came home. Like, and sounds like it's the first time he's done it since you all have been back. It's not like he's out every, like, he's only 27 years old, like, and he has no kids. Like, why can't he go out to the bar and have a drink on his friend's birthday? Like,
I will say, why not take her with him though?
Well, he said he asked.
Okay, I missed that then.
Yeah, he said she was already cuddled up in her covers and asked, and like she said she didn't want to go.
Oh, well, he's like, I knew that. To shut up.
She doesn't want anybody that's gonna go out all the time.
Yeah, that's not.
Meanwhile, she's like smashed drunk at the house.
Yeah,
which is what's causing this issue. Like,
yeah, because he went out and she knew he was with girls, so she just that one glass of wine turned into 2 glasses of wine, and then it.
And then Mackenzie causing trouble. Apparently, like we didn't even get to talk to her. Like, girl, quick, she's like dramatic. Don't tell her stuff. Like,
I know.
I think that's what it was. It's someone else saw him and it made her look bad. Like she cares so much about what everyone else thinks.
Yeah, very much. Again, that's trauma base.
What upset me, I think, the most of the conversation is like I think we all said when we saw that one friend, we knew we're like, okay, they've hooked up before. Like, but it happens. Sometimes in single friend groups, you do have a friend that you've hooked up with before. Doesn't mean you're going to do it again. Like,
no. And sometimes 2 people are extremely drunk, which it sounds like that's what happened.
It happened.
And it happens. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it
happens. And then
it happened. And he was upfront.
And the problem is he told her that apparently off camera because he said, I didn't want to talk about this. So in my opinion, that is disrespectful to that girl because she probably had asked for that not to be brought up on screen. Because now she's going to probably get hounded, which is not fair. No. And I think Chelsea bringing that up on camera, that was the most disrespectful thing in the conversation.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Absolutely. No, absolutely it was. And that argument put a worse taste in my mouth than any of their other prior arguments or anything. I was just like, that
When I
Chelsea,
thought they
you
were
are in
breaking
the
up,
wrong on this one. 100%.
yeah, she was trying to say, well, not 100%. Yeah, 100%. 100% you're wrong.
100%. You were in the
100%.
wrong.
Jimmy did nothing wrong in that situation.
No,
Like,
he literally
nothing.
he invited you to go out with him. He
You know
was
what?
not out
Okay.
that long.
The one thing he did is when he was like, if you want me to, I'll back off, and got her to admit that and then he said, I'm not willing to do that.
That was
That
a
was a
little
little
messed up.
shady on his part. Okay, I will admit I didn't like him doing that, but I think he
That was
wanted
petty.
it was.
Yeah.
It was because I was sitting there saying to him though, don't back off just because she wants you to. Like if this person's been your friend, like
Yep.
I was really excited when I thought they were breaking up and calling it off. And then he forgave her. Because honestly, I think he loves her. I think he honestly does for whatever reason. He loves this woman.
For some
And
reason he does. And I can even like see it in his eyes. And I can see them getting married.
I can too. I hope not though.
I want to say like I kind of had this same feeling though when it came to Alexis and Brennan.
I think I honestly I remember feeling that way about them too. Well, a little less though. Like I liked Alexa a lot more than I liked Chelsea.
Did you? I feel like I felt them both kind of annoying. I didn't like him either though.
They are.
I like Jimmy more than him.
I like Jimmy. I don't care. I feel like I'm gonna be like everybody's gonna judge us for saying this, but like I like Jimmy. It's fine. Like I don't even have anything bad to say. And I also let's talk. There's another moment at the lake day. Okay, two moments. First of all, Chelsea's allowed to comment at how Trevor is a beefcake and how hot he looks. Could you imagine
if he would have said that about Jess? Holy moly!
No, but yes, and then when she commented, this really hurt his feelings, and I was actually really mad when she comments talking about Johnny and Amy, like, have you met the power couple here or the number one couple, whatever she said. I think that really hurt Jimmy's feelings. Imagine he said that some other couple was a better couple than them.
I was just joking. No, you weren't.
She would have never let that go. She would have cried.
I wouldn't have said it out loud if I wasn't joking. Yes, you did. You just word vomited.
Yes,
you did.
You didn't realize he was standing that close. Is what
because
happened.
we just even said at the very beginning of this podcast that they are the power couple.
Yeah,
it's apparent, even though TMZ is telling us otherwise.
I'm not gonna.
I think they were just going to an event, probably something to promo the show or something. I
will be shocked
if anybody out there hasn't seen it. It's Johnny and Jess getting on an airplane that TMZ caught, but I really don't think I can't see it.
That would be the biggest shock of my life as far as Love is Blind goes, if that's the truth.
Same.
Although I love Johnny and I love Jess, so I don't even know if I'll be terribly upset about it. But I will be shocked. I will actually not surprised. I will actually be shocked. Like
100% agree.
Jaw on the ground, like shocked.
You know what we haven't had in Love is Blind yet, and I think we would love?
What?
Like wedding day drama. Not like, ooh, are they gonna say yes? But like somebody from the past running in. Can we get that? If we're just going to overly produce a show, so we get some like crazy drama.
Trevor or Jess like interrupt, like Jackson and April style, like stand up. Can we do this?
That would be
please.
I mean, if the couple's not going to work, can we at least get some drama out of it? If you're going to overproduce the show, we should have kept that until Jeremy and Laura's wedding day and let Sarah Ann pop in there like with the jet ski waiting outside. That's what we should have had. They could ride off on the jet ski. That whole scene that he filmed with those jet skis.
I mean, with him just
I was dying laughing the entire time. And they go to Laura and she's like all red faced with her glasses covered. I was just like,
I did feel so bad for her, but I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
You want to go ride jet skis? Yeah, let's go ride jet skis.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Chelsea, you did it. The man that I was like having so much fun. And I do still love making fun of Jimmy especially with that TikTok trend of like
who's he look like?
Look at me with those eyes or whatever. And it's got all the different cartoon characters. Yeah. Like probably my favorite trend I've seen in a long time. So
he does. He looks like so
like
many
every
things
Pixar character that's ever existed. Yeah. I mean, he does.
Why, but he does. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but
I bet he's got a good sense of humor about it. Like the difference
he seems
is
like he would.
there's one that had Chelsea involved, and I guarantee she probably cries about hers. But like, I feel like he'd have a good sense of humor about it and just laugh at them too, you know?
I hope so.
She'll cry.
If you can't laugh over it, you're gonna cry.
You might as well. Oh, all right. So let's recap our predictions.
All right.
Johnny and Amy. I think they're saying yes. I don't care what TMZ says. I think they're saying yes. I'm
And
gonna
the
just go with
TMZ
it.
thing's just in my head. That's probably
I know. I'm just gonna ignore it because I have
if I
nothing to
ignore the
base it on.
TMZ, I will say Johnny and Amy 100% will say yes.
Yeah, because I have nothing to base that on. Even with TMZ, I have nothing.
Like I said, they could be going to an event together, so that's
yeah. So they say yes. Clay and AD. My prediction is AD is going to say no.
I know
like
it's hard, right? But I feel like I want to go against you on this
because there's no way they're all three getting married.
No, I don't think Chelsea and Jimmy will get married.
See, I do. Even though I don't want them to. If they do say no, it will be Jimmy that will finally wise up and say no.
I'm just staring at their pictures over here. I'm just trying to figure.
But
no, I think in my gut, if I'm going to go with my gut, I think you're right, and I think AD will say no. Laura and
yeah, they're done, right?
They're done. Kenny is done. So the other one left is Jimmy and Chelsea. Like we just said, I don't know with them either. I have this feeling that they'll both say yes, but it will not last.
I don't think it'll last either. Will they be together even by? I don't know though. I think once she gets her claws in him, like he's not going anywhere ever. I don't think it's ever happening.
Maybe she should have been with Matthew.
I think he's right. I think he's locked in now. Yeah.
Ooh, do you think Matthew's gonna like bust through the door at AD's wedding?
Can Matthew come back for the like reunion, please? I just want to talk to him. I need Matthew. Now, okay, well, let's see. Do you think that at the reunion, will we have Jeremy and Sarah Ann together? Because I think we will.
Yeah.
I think they'll be there together.
100% I do.
Yeah.
After seeing her TikToks, and she is in his house because we even saw a Hawaiian shirt in the background.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah. And it almost looks like the same one he was wearing on Lake Day, which is odd.
And I bet I didn't realize he was wearing a Hawaiian shirt on Lake Day. Well done, Jeremy, because you know how much Laura hates those. So like he
even mentioned it, and he was just like his shoulders went back. He's like, yep.
I missed that. I don't care. Did it on purpose. Jeremy's still my number one guy. I mean, come at me for it. I don't care. He is. I love him. So
I agree. I totally agree.
I bet Sarah Ann would even wear a Hawaiian shirt with him. So maybe they are better suited.
Maybe she should wear like a Hawaiian dress, like a Hawaiian print dress.
Yeah. I hope they wear them on the reunion. Do it.
They should. That would be hilarious. And bring Laura in too. If Laura was any kind of funny, she'd wear a Hawaiian shirt too.
She's not though.
Just tie it up.
She's too bitter. I think she's too bitter.
She's not funny enough. No. I dare you to, Laura. Right. It would make me laugh at least.
It would. It definitely would.
I think it'd make a lot of us laugh.
Just do it. Right.
Laura's gonna walk in with Matthew wearing a Hawaiian shirt and
let Jeremy and Sarah Ann get married, and he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt at their wedding. Like, let's have them like
suit, like a Hawaiian print suit.
Could we do that? Can you imagine? Too funny. No, I think it'd be great. But yeah, so
any other things about the reunion you want to
think
about what's going to happen?
I don't know. I feel like we've like not heard. Is it me, or I feel like throughout the seasons in the past we've had a little bit more Nick and Vanessa. Like,
yeah,
I think because Vanessa kind of got a little too involved the last couple seasons that they made her back off, because we've barely seen them.
Only a few times they've come in.
So I'd be interested to see what she's like she's who I'm looking forward to at the reunion, because in the past she's been a little unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm a little curious to see what she'll have to say.
I don't know how much longer Nick and Vanessa are going to be doing the show. After last season, they got so much hate. And I know they would have kept him on this season just because they probably were already in a process of doing stuff when the other season came out. But
a new host, I think Barnett and Amber would be a phenomenal host for the show.
A lot of people are actually saying that too,
because I think Lauren and Cam, I don't think they're I don't see it. I think they're just happy they're both, but Barnett and Amber, I think, and I could see Amber like calling people out over stuff. Like, I would love it.
I think they have the personalities for it.
Yeah.
And they've been through the process. And they're one of the successful. I think they would be perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know what Nick and Vanessa have anything to do with blind love. So
yeah, that's true. It's true. So well, I guess that is it. So we will be back for another episode on this. So just make sure to look out for it. Once the weddings and the reunion has aired, we will come back and discuss all of that drama that happens and whether we were right or wrong on this. Drop your predictions, like comment, let us know what they are. We definitely want to hear what you think. Yes. Even though my number one has already dropped off. So I mean, like, I don't know. Tell us what you think about all of them. Like I said, make sure subscribe to this. That way you won't miss our upcoming episodes. You can also subscribe on our main platform, which is Spreaker.com. And I guess that's Spreaker. I have the hardest time spelling that. Check us out there. Get subscribed, all of that, so you don't miss this. We've got other episodes coming up. I don't know exactly what's next on our lineup. I know our schedule's a little different. We're not recapping all of our shows. We are recapping The Way Home, so you can watch out for those. We're doing those every 2 episodes together. Lots of other good
Will
stuff.
Trent drop.
Yeah.
We have things coming.
We got lots of good things coming. So make sure to follow that, definitely. And I think that's all we got for now. So we'll see y'all later.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Loving our content? Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to share our podcast with your family and friends. We want to continue the conversation with you. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok under Fandom Family Chats, or one of our ever-growing Facebook groups by searching Family Fan Club. We've also launched a website, Family Fan Club 2021 at Wixsite.com. You can email us there and keep checking it for announcements and merch coming soon. And of course, be sure to tune in every week for new episodes discussing all your favorite shows.